Hi, I'm Sophie.
Hi, I'm Paul.
And we are SP Film Viewers. So today we're doing a little bit of a mix-up again. And it's a film... Well, to be fair, it is fair that it's your turn, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been a fair few, but as I say, it's mostly for your benefit doing this, really.
It is, but I think it's nice now and again to throw a few your way.
Seen,
yeah, it's only fair. And I don't have that much of a big list of movies.
Not.
So we've actually, Paul has decided to subscribe to Disney Plus. And to my excitement, I didn't even know it was a Disney movie.
I don't think it is, So
why is it on there?
I don't know.
It must be, or it must be something that they've got.
I don't know.
So, the film is 10 Things I Hate About You. It's not really a chicky flick. It's like a teenage...
drama.
Yeah. It brings me back to my teens, I'd say, when I watched it.
The film came out in 1999. Look that up.
Did you?
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known. It does have that kind of sense about it. It does make you want to go back to the 90s, I feel.
Yeah.
When it was like everything was normal in the good old days. And this, I don't know if you probably won't know what I'm relating to. There was one girl that had this... You used to go to the seaside and get them. And there was like a braid in your hair. It's like this twizzle plait braid with fabric. Right,
okay. I think I know what you mean, yeah.
Looks lovely in your hair. Absolutely agonising to undo.
I can imagine.
It kills. So, apart from having a lovely 90s throwback, I'm a 90s baby, so I'm not going to complain about that. It also has one of the most drop-dead... I shouldn't really say drop-dead, should I?
Poor choice of words.
Yeah, a little bit. Let's just say if this man was still alive, he would be on my list of top 10. And, like if he was in the street and he actually wanted to have anything to do with me, then, like we've had that agreement with certain other celebrities, he'd be on my list. And shall I get around to saying who the name actually is?
Well, yeah.
So
but
it's...
I think the people are impressed if they've ever seen this film.
So, he's the dishiest character in the film, unless you're going to want that sleazeball.
Joey.
Yeah, which...
But most people will be wanting Heath Ledger.
Yes, definitely. Even though he doesn't look as muscular as I'd have thought in some of the parts, but...
Maybe you thought different back to then.
Yeah. Maybe I'm thinking of now it needs to be like Thor, bulky.
Yeah.
So, I want to know what your thoughts are. You did laugh quite a bit through it. I don't know if you want to kind of say what you thought you enjoyed about it.
Okay. So we'll start with the fact that it straight away feels like a 90s film. So I can't really knock it for that, really, because some of those are things I grew up with as well, so...
Yeah. It kind of makes you want to go back there, I think.
Back to 99?
Yeah.
Like the song.
It does, because things were just so much more simpler. And, what I loved as well, I don't know if you even noticed, the girls they were dressed up, but, not half wearing nothing, and... it wasn't...
No, but there's a certain style from that time period as well.
Yeah, but you had your preppy kind of kids, and you had, obviously your populars and your non-populars.
Well, there's a scene in that where it does go through all that, the guy that joins the school, but from the very get-go, in the credits, you've got this crazy font going on with all the things. Again, we're in 90s. And even the soundtrack, for the most part, is also pre-90s as well. So you got the opening song, I don't know if you know what that one's called.
No.
1 week. It's been 1 week to do that.
No, I can sing it to you, but I never know.
Oh. Okay. Well, on a slight tangent from that song, the first time I heard that song was the Digimon movie.
Really?
Yeah. But I really like that song. It's a good song.
It is a good song. So did that make you think already when it started opening, you're like, okay, they've got a good taste in music coming along?
Yeah.
It's setting a good scene.
Yeah, which is, it sets the scene for the fact that when the preppy girls are driving up in the car.
Yeah.
And I guess in their head, it's kind of like they're listening to that tune in their car with their open top.
Yeah.
Thing about. And then our lead lady, Kat, drives up playing Bad Reputation.
Yeah.
So that kind of sets the tone, doesn't it? It's kind of like, look at you.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, I don't know which side you prefer, but I kind of like that scene because it's like she doesn't care. So you straight away get that off the get go. You know that she's literally not bothered.
Yeah.
But it is a good character. It literally is her character, the song that they're playing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So they have thought quite well
Yeah.
throughout it as well to say that it is just like a teen kind of movie. There's a lot of thought that's been put into it.
The difference in social class.
Yeah, so you've got quite a few characters, haven't you, within this. It's kind of, you've got your school characters, and then you've got the two girls that are obviously the daughter of the father. Kind of flits between a couple of kind of main characters. You've got obviously your main characters, which is Kat and Heath Ledger.
Do you know what his character's called?
Oh, no.
Do you not know?
No. I always do this. It's weird. It's one of these things, if I know the actual actor...
You're going to go and refer to him by that name. But...
Yeah, but then if I don't know the actor, I'll refer to him by the character's name.
Inspector Catch.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know it?
Well, I would look it up, so... Because I thought, well, I didn't know if I referred to him as Heath Ledger or not, but he's called Patrick.
Patrick, yes, he is.
Yes, you've got those two characters. And you've also got a young Joseph Gordon-Levitt. What's his character name again now? I think it's Cameron.
Yes.
Right, okay.
So you've got Cameron, and then you've got this guy that's showing him around the school, which I was like, I know this person. And you're going to laugh because what I know him from is from the Santa Claus. The guy that's showing the kid around...
Yeah, the one who's kind of obviously Jewish, yeah.
He is an elf in Santa Claus Christmas movie.
Right.
And he's like a badass elf.
Right, okay.
And I straight away was like, I even remember his name. So to me, he's Bernard. I was like, oh, that's Bernard from the Santa Christmas movie. Because that was my favourite Christmas movie when I was little. Okay. So I actually don't know his name either.
I can't remember what he's called.
So shall we call him Bernard?
I guess so, yeah. I want to refer to him. When was the last time you saw this movie then? To remember, obviously, if you're thinking about, you don't remember certain characters from certain films.
I was about 16. So it's about a good 10 years.
Right, okay.
So I think that's fair play to me.
Yeah. So the main plot line, as I sort of see it, seems to be the sister of Kat. Seems to be quite a popular girl. And everyone most of the boys seem to want to go out with her. Yeah, and that's just because she's like pure and innocent, and it's like the cherry on top of the cake that you can't get kind of thing. Yeah. So they're like all seeking out for her. Yeah. She's not actually, because there's Kat and the Bianca. Is it Bianca? Yeah, Bianca.
So out of those two, to me, from a girl's perspective, I'd think Kat is prettier.
Right.
I don't know from a guy's.
Isn't really appealed to me either way for them, to be honest, but that's just me.
Right.
Not the saying not attractive at all, just nothing.
They're more plain, I think.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I think that's right. There is nothing really.
But that's what's nice
stands out,
because it's a case of it's a teen movie where you're not thinking.
Wow. Yeah.
And you're not thinking, oh, I need to look like her, and like straight away change your appearance or anything like that. She just makes you feel like she's a normal girl. Anyways, so you've got Bianca, who is
caught the attention of Cameron, who's kind of just joined, as I say.
And he's such a sweetie, isn't he? He's got such a... Like, if you had a child and you wanted her to pick a boyfriend, you'd want it to be him, wouldn't you? Yeah. He's such a sweet guy. Yeah.
And so you've got this guy, Joey, who's a bit of a... just want to punch him in the face.
He's a sleazeball, isn't he? He's
just absolutely...
Oh, you straight away clocked him and you knew what role.
Yeah. So the means of getting to date Bianca by her father's rule of if Kat has someone she can go out with, then you can have someone to go out with.
So you got this,
which is kind of a weird...
Well, it was a light bulb moment, wasn't it, when he realised that Kat didn't want anybody. So I think it was when they graduated or something that they could date.
Yeah, that's what he said, yeah.
And then he was like, she's not actually interested. So I can...
Yeah, string this out, yeah.
For longer.
So I think the dad has got some issues going on because I think his wife left him or something.
His wife left him. I thought for a while that she'd actually died.
But then I guess if he's left him, that makes it a bit more bitter, doesn't it?
Yeah, and obviously he's looking after the children.
Yeah.
And to be fair, not meaning this in a bad way, but normally it's the mum that would get, like, the custody of the child, so I think he's trying to do good by his daughters, but he's being really overprotective and smothering them a bit too much.
Yeah. So they come across Patrick, but most people seem to think that he's some kind of hard nut who's been in jail or something.
Yeah, and that he's done these weird things and don't go near him because he'll...
Stuff.
Yeah.
But Cameron thinks Sylvie's got the idea to try and get him to date Kat.
Yeah.
Got that right?
Yeah. So he thinks he'll be a good match and that he won't be scared of Kat.
Yeah.
Because she's a bit of a boisterous character. So, like, if it was Cameron that was going to date Kat, he'd just get up alive, basically. So she needs someone a bit boisterous to handle her. Yeah,
and it's by the funds of Joey to sort of bribe him to go on dates, go to date with her.
So he kind of... They quite cleverly manipulate him. So basically Cameron's wanting to put this in motion. However, he doesn't have the funds. So Bernard goes obviously to Joey and was like kind of saying, oh, this is a good idea to kind of get Kat to date and pay this guy. So he kind of puts a little seed, because Joey would not be that smart enough to think that.
Yeah.
Kind of drops that idea in his head and then he thinks it's his. Mm-hmm. But... Well, so they're all kind of 4 of them, which is like Joey, Cameron, his friend, and then Patrick, in this scheme.
Yeah.
Just to get Kat to be dating so that Bianca can date Joey or Cameron. So there's 2 guys fighting over this one girl.
Yeah.
So you kind of get to a point where you get Patrick kind of trying to attempt to flirt with Kat, and I think he don't realise how difficult she's gonna be. I think he thinks, oh, I'm good looking, I'm a charmer, and kind of walks over after she's played football, and she's just not
interested.
No, not interested. So he has to chip away at her wall a little bit, doesn't he, to kind of make her fall through, in a sense. There's also a bit between the sisters, I don't know if you've noticed. A bit of kind of tenseness.
Well, again, I think it's still down to the social class thing. It's like, oh, why can't you just be like normal, like a normal person, and date normal guys and just be a normal what you class as normal in high school. Yeah. Be popular and please people and go to parties. Like, oh my god, And
it's like, actually, just be yourself and decide what you want to do. If you don't want to go to a party, then don't go.
Shouldn't be,
You shouldn't be forced into it, whereas I think her little sister's kind of forcing her to do things she don't want to do.
Just to do what she thinks is what is the rules of high school to do. You must go to the prom or...
Yeah, to fit in, really, and carry on being Miss Popular.
Yeah.
So, there is some... I don't know what you think, but I quite like the relationship between Kat and Patrick.
They seem to work pretty well when they get round to breaking down the barriers.
Yeah, but even that kind of... You can tell she likes him. Like, for example, I think it's quite romantic how he's kind of thinking, oh, even though initially he's obviously doing it for the money.
Yeah.
It's like trying to really put in an interest into her.
Yeah.
Which... You kind of get this tough character.
Yeah.
He's not actually that rough and ready at all, really. He's quite a softy inside.
Yeah.
There's quite a lot of depth to your characters, I think. That kind of makes you kind of like... They're quite likeable, apart from Joey. They do it so well that you absolutely hate him.
Yes, it's not easy to not like him at all.
No. So you've got that concert that Kat goes to with her friends. Mm-hmm. And I love this scene because Heath Ledger turns up in these sparkly, glittery pants. Do you remember seeing that?
I remember about that scene. I don't know. Again, maybe it's just my eye for camera movements and stuff, but the whole, like, one shot where he's walking down into the club all in one take to go to the stage, which I know can be tricky to get, even though it was quite a short one. It wasn't like a really windy going on thing, but again, having all those people dancing around and choreographed in that sense was thing. I didn't clock
Did you not? I can't believe you didn't clock the sparkly pants. Also, all the women looking at him like, what the hell are you doing here? Kind of thing. Like, looking at him like, you don't belong here.
Yeah.
And I liked the flirtation side of it, like, where she sees him and she's like, ugh. And then he's like, you're spoiling this for me.
Yeah.
And kind of like, he's a bit of a wind-up kind of merchant, but in a flirty, good way.
Yeah.
So then, the main bit then would be, I'd say, is where it gets really going, is Bogey's party.
Yeah.
That did kind of feel like, when they did the flyers, that felt like your typical American...
Yeah, you don't see that in any school around here.
No, and then when everyone influxed into this house,
yeah,
you could tell it was like an American
Yeah,
party.
yeah.
Kind of reminded me of Mean Girls a little bit.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, yeah.
Where you kind of have this party and they're like, oh no, don't like this, and...
I think that's majority of high school teen comedy drama films have that kind of... It's always big house party at somebody's...
house that didn't want you there.
Yeah.
Normally. So you get Bianca and Kat going. So Kat goes with Patrick.
Yeah.
And Bianca is going for Joey, really, isn't she? Even though Cameron is going there
as well.
too.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you captured the one. There's a couple of scenes. There's one that I'll let you go over, but there's one scene which I thought was quite... I didn't actually like Bianca as a character.
Quite shallow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Straight away wanting to go out with Joey because I think Cameron and Bianca are the same age. I get that feeling. Whereas I think Joey is...
It's probably a year above or a couple of years or whatever.
Yeah, he's like the same age as Kat, I think.
Yeah.
So he's kind of given an interest to a younger... So she's like being that naive young teenage girl thinking, I'm amazing, he fancies me and I'm going to be Miss Popular and everything like that, when actually she's got a really lovely guy in front of her and she can't even see it. So I'll let you kind of go on with what happened with Kat and Patrick, because I think this is like a key part of the movie. Yeah,
so I must have seen part of this film like through flicking channels or something on TV. So it's a scene where Patrick's walking up the stairs to find Kat, and some girl tries to just like throw herself on him, like, oh, kiss me, and then he pushes the girl onto some other guy, and the guy's like, oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, it's like, oh, thank you.
So then he can carry on walking around looking for her, and then he runs into this guy again, he's still kissing this guy, and the guy goes like, oh, thanks, really, thank you. And then another good piece of music comes on when the scene where he finds Kat and Joey points out, because, oh, look at Kat, she's dancing on the table, dancing to Notorious B.I.G.
Yeah. She had a bit to drink at this point because she can see that Joey's kind of impacted on her sister, and I think that's getting to her.
Yeah, she's just like, I'll just drink.
Yeah. And so she does like quite a good dance.
Yeah.
Until she hurts her head.
Yeah. But she had a bit too much.
Yeah.
Sort of passes out, sort of.
Well, she hits her head on the chandelier, doesn't she? And then I think that's...
Then Patrick takes her out. Decide to just get some air.
Yeah, because he's worried that she's going to get a concussion.
Yeah.
So this is where you can kind of see the caring
aspect of it, yeah.
Yeah, you can see that he does actually genuinely care for her. And it's not just the money at this point, he's actually...
falling for her, yeah.
Yeah. He's worried about her well-being as well. So he's like making sure she's not going to go to sleep. He ends up carrying her out, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And they get like this swing scene. You can just see that they're kind of slowly breaking the barriers, and they are getting somewhere in the relationship. And she nearly falls backwards on him. She also then pukes on his foot, and it's like, yep, you're getting to a point where it's really comfortable until he decides to take her home.
Yeah.
And there's a scene, obviously, where Kat then leans in to kiss him, and he's like,
Yeah, which, you're trying to be the nice guy, and she takes it proper like, oh, fine then. Yeah, walks, storms off. It's like, well, no, you're being the good guy. You don't want to be just doing
kissing
for this, it's just because it's an easy thing to do.
Exactly.
Be a mistake.
He couldn't have won in either situation there.
No.
Because if you had kissed her, she'd have been like, well, you've taken advantage of me, because I was an easy target because I was a bit liquored up. And then it's a case of, you didn't kiss me, you rejected me, I'm in a mood now. However, you'd have thought that she might have forgot about it, how drunk she was, and that she'd banged her head, that she might not remember that rejection the next morning. But she does.
Yeah.
So she kind of snubs him, doesn't she, for a bit?
Yeah.
And then...
Isn't there a part where, as you pointed out, it sort of weirdly, ironically, reminded you of the Joker?
Yes.
Yes,
it does.
The scene where he's trying to make up for
He's trying to make up for it, and he has to do something big. for her. And this is my favourite scene in the movie.
I understand why, yeah.
If anyone said to you, what is 10 things I hate about you? I would describe this scene first of all. That would be the first thing that would pop into my head. So he's obviously paid some people with his money from what he's been getting off Joey to kind of get her back into his goods books. I'll let you describe my favourite scene now. No pressure.
So, from what I can gather, it's just really just the old brass band thing on the football field. And then he comes along and starts singing. What's the song?
You're just too good to be true.
Yeah. And the whole action about the joke is kind of like when he's sort of like doing the big thing, like big strides across the...
Yeah, and his arms are going and he's like trying to run away and he's kind of got that cheeky grin. And it's when he's singing the I love you, babe, and he's running across. And then obviously, like, I don't know if it's like school security or something are coming after him, and it's just really comical because he's running. And then it must be like a bit of out of breath course because these are steps that he's on.
Yeah. Running
rings around these two security men at the same time as trying to sing and make it up to her.
Yeah.
So it is a really good scene. I love the way that he kind of, I don't know if you clocked it. It was like this, obviously you've got your speakers.
Yeah.
And he slides down this pole initially to start it off. But I think with the Joker, it is obviously links back to the newer Joker a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It kind of a bit more like that one rather than the Heath Ledger Joker that he played in Dark Knight. But
and the kind of the step dancing thing. Yeah, that's what kind of...
Weirdly,
was strange because obviously I'd seen this film before I'd seen him be the Joker in Batman because he's obviously aged since then and obviously her being a girl, to be honest, if you did something wrong and you did that to me, for me, I'd forgive you because you've made a right fool of yourself. So obviously you are genuinely sorry because you wouldn't do that for any reason, because if you didn't really care about him you wouldn't make a fool of yourself.
No.
So they fall back together and they're like this better couple than they've ever been kind of thing. And you can see that she's actually really happy in the relationship, which is like a bittersweet because you can see even Patrick's falling now for Kat.
Yeah.
But then you've got Joey still, which is a bit of an issue. So we've actually missed a part where in Bogey's party, Bianca and Joey, that relationship there, starts to be where she realises how boring
he is, and he's just posing.
Like, he does two different poses, doesn't he? And it's like underwear shot and then topless shot, and it's like, they literally look this same photo shot. And then he's like, you can see she's genuinely just getting bored
it's not
by him.
Special.
And Cameron, at this point as well, you feel for him.
Yeah. Although he does get his shot, doesn't he? Because he gets to take her home. And
he does own it, where he kind of has a go at her in the car.
Yeah.
Which, to say he's a shy boy and he really fancies this girl, he's giving her a right good hard time. And I think actually that is the bit where that turns that relationship around.
Yeah, she does kiss him.
She does kiss him, and you're like, oh yay, she's actually choosing the right one instead of going for the sleazeball. Sorry, we've kind of flitted.
No, it's okay.
Back a bit with that.
To get to this final prom party, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then Cameron's taking Bianca, Kat's going with Patrick.
Yeah.
And the dad's still doing the, where do you think you're going kind of thing.
And then the scene of where...
brings out this pregnancy suit thing to like, right, this is what you look like when you're pregnant. I've never seen anything like that before.
Neither have I. I don't know if you ever had something at school, but I used to not want to get... That was like my worst nightmare when I was a teenager, was I'd kind of been rammed into me that was not a good thing to do when you were younger, to kind of get caught at such a young age.
So it's no.
So it kind of brings some home truths back. But I don't know if you did anything at your school, but I had this egg that I had to look after. It wasn't a hard-boiled egg.
Yeah.
It was like a proper egg.
Yeah, so you have to look after and not drop or anything like that.
But literally we had to take it in school with us.
Oh, right, okay.
So it's not like an egg that you left at home for all day. You have to transport it to each class.
Oh, no, we didn't have anything like that extreme, no.
So make sure it was okay.
Yeah.
So you had, obviously, some guys which were chucking each other's eggs at one another, and they didn't last that long at all.
Of course.
And then there's obviously little old me, well, little young me going, I want to look after my egg. And then you've got these buffoons going trying to smack your eggs and such, because it's this assignment. I don't know if it's like a week. It felt longer than that, that's for sure.
Yeah, it probably does.
Of making sure that this egg is all right. I got to a point where I drew a face on my egg. I had attached hair.
You start talking to it.
It was like my baby egg. I think I actually even kept it longer after that, and then my mum was like, yeah, this egg's going off now, Sophie, you've got to put it in the bin. I was a bit devastated. But it reminded me of that baby suit.
Right.
With this little egg that I had to kind of look after.
In what way?
Because it's trying to think of the moral of, or will you kind of pin down now that you've got a child? You're not just fending for yourself, you've got to care for this child.
Okay.
I think if you did that to any teenage girl, it might
instill something, yeah, you'd hope.
Yeah.
But that doesn't stop kids these days.
No, it doesn't. And I think this is what's nice about the film. It does have somewhat of an innocence around it. So, prom.
Yeah. So they've gone off to the prom. And then, for some reason, Joey's knocking on the cat's dad's house door, and it's like, alright, I come to take Bianca. His father's just like, shuts the door.
Nope,
No,
not you.
Not you.
He did give, obviously, Cameron a little bit of hard time saying, I know all the policemen around here. And he's like, but he did let his daughter go with him.
You see a bit more genuine
than in Joey. Yeah.
A different story. But.
So they're actually having a really good prom, and you can see that both of them are enjoying themselves. They're both happy. Yeah. Until Joey comes along and realises.
Yeah, and starts to fight, and also lets slip about the whole business deal that was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, it's not.
So obviously,
you bet, obviously not just. There was a reason.
Like an reason
to do that. Yeah.
Because she did ask, didn't she? Like, why are you pushing this? Why?
Yeah.
And he was getting like £300 or something for it to take her to the prom.
$100.
Oh yeah. So she's absolutely devastated at this point, and she runs out.
Yeah.
And this is where Bianca
comes and hits Joe in the face and the stomach and then the nuts, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, very much. And he's just lying on the floor.
I think I think she says, this is for my
date,
my sister, and then this one's from me.
Yeah.
And you think, actually, her sister's actually rubbed off on her here. Yeah. She's not thinking that she has to be this perfect little teenager who does everything right by the books. And
there was a bit before, so we missed a bit, about how between the two sisters they have a talk in the room about how Kat used to go out with Joey and they've done the deed. Yeah. So there's that thing, she was trying to be protective of
her sister. She wasn't trying to ruin her life. She was doing it because she didn't want her sister to go through the same things that she'd been through. Yeah.
And that's why things have changed for her.
And I think she can realise where her sister's coming from, and that Kat does actually care for Bianca.
Even if it takes that time at the prom to realise that. And then I think more or less ends with the whole reason why it's called 10 Things I Hate About You, because she reads a poem out in class, the teacher, which he's a great character. Wish there was more of him, to be honest. He's
a good character. Yeah. There is some really good teachers in this as well, I think. And he's...
Yeah, even is it the principal? Woman? Yeah. Because thinking through all this, it's like, I can't believe this is actually on the Disney Plus channel because of some of the language and stuff and the terms they use. It's kind of like...
I know, it is.
Which is quite shocking, but that's what made it more enjoyable, really.
Yeah, it did add kind of like a teenage adult humour.
But not stupidly crude or anything like that. So she reads this poem that she's... Yeah, so
she's actually said she was looking forward to the assignment.
Oh, yeah.
She got told to then go get out. But then when she does read the poem, the teacher does ask, does anybody want to read it? Yeah. And Kat's like, yeah.
Yeah, so she's written out basically 10 things I hate about you, but in sort of like a rhyming Shakespearean thing.
But it's technically not 10 things she hates about him.
Yeah, the kind of more annoyance is like, I hate how beautiful your smile is, that kind of thing. Can't remember word for word what she says, but there was that kind of thing. It's kind of like
there was one
slightly backhanded compliment, but in a good way.
Yeah. And then there's a bit where I kind of whelm up at this part, and it's basically, I hate when you're not around, and I want to hate you, but I don't hate you at all, not even a little bit. And it's a case of, it reminds you of when you have broken up with somebody and you didn't really want to break up with them, and you still have that love for them, but you want to hate them at the same time. And I feel like that's how you get that portrayal from that poem. And I think everybody's had that point where you absolutely hate somebody, but you at the same time love them.
Yeah.
And it's the hating them because you love them, and that's the hurt sense. So it's really cleverly well written, and it always gets me. That bit does.
Does be another, even that's near the end, it's the sort of pivotal point that when you think about the film, that would be one of the things, because that's essentially what it boils down to.
So then she walks out getting really upset and storms out, and she goes to a car.
She finds there's a guitar in the back seat for her, which Patrick's bought for her with the money that Joey gave him. Which
you can kind of feel as well is quite a sweet, kind act, because, to be fair, I don't feel like Patrick has the wealth of Kat. You can kind of see in the film, like, he's not got, like, this extravagant houseware, and he does struggle for money, I can imagine. So the sweetness of him actually wanting to buy her that, to say, what was the line? Some stupid guy paid me to date this amazing girl.
Yeah, something like that,
And then kind of funding me to buy her a guitar kind of thing. And it's like, well, kind of saying, actually, I've liked you anyways, I don't care.
Yeah, it took some time, but...
Yeah.
Which is like most things, you can't just immediately love someone. I don't think there is really that thing of...
No, like...
First, and then that's it.
No.
Like, you got to know somebody to really, truly know.
I definitely think so, because it's like, you can have these Disney movies, the other ones, where it is love at first sight, and you're like, and they fall in love and then getting married the next day, and it's just not reality. It doesn't happen that way. Like, I'm pretty sure me and you didn't love each other at the first sight. Not that I was repulsed by you at first sight.
Thanks.
You know. I was intrigued.
Feelings mutual.
I was intrigued at the first sight.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. Once you've got that little bit of spark, then you work up on that, don't you?
Yeah.
So obviously Kat is kind of saying, well, you can't just always buy me a guitar every time you mess up. And then he's like saying, oh, well, look, we can buy you drums, we can do...
All that stuff. But then that's pretty much where the film leaves off, really, with like an old tracking shot from their view and then up to the roof where a band's playing on the roof.
It's her favourite band, isn't it?
For some reason, on the top of the school. That bit was a bit like you when you said, oh, I want a bit more.
Oh.
I feel like there should have been another part of that, not having...
I'm rubbing off on you, aren't I?
But, no, just for that one, I felt it was... I enjoyed the film as a whole, but I feel like there was probably maybe something a little more that could have happened. I don't know what exactly, but...
I think there could have been a little bit, but actually I wasn't... Because the ending...
It wasn't like that's rubbish. Yeah, that's...
No, because the ending ended how I would want it to.
Happy.
Yeah. That they were together and that they were kind of like they were
Mm-hmm.
carrying on with the relationship and Joey hadn't ruined it. Mm-hmm. So I think I was content with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. They could have extended it a little bit. But I think because I didn't have to second guess the ending.
Yeah.
I knew everything was fine. I was fine with the ending on this one. So that's pretty much everything of this amazing film. It is a good-hearted film. It's one that can kind of get your spirits up a little bit, and you do enjoy it. You're kind of smiling all the way through, and there is some good laughing moments.
Yeah,
I was surprised at actually how much you laughed, because I didn't know.
I didn't truly know what to expect as such, really, because I didn't, like I say, was caught aback by the language and the how people were acting in it. So
I could tell, actually sat here and I'm thinking, I actually think he's enjoying this. I picked a movie, and he's enjoying it. And it's like sat there a little bit smug, like he's laughing. I don't think I've ever picked a film where you've actually laughed.
But that I haven't seen, no.
Yeah, or any film that I've picked that you haven't seen. I don't think you have.
I don't think so, no.
You really...
We don't normally laugh at what's normally deemed rom-coms, do you?
No, it did have a good element of humour in it.
Mm.
And I think I could tell, maybe I'm wrong, maybe you'll tell me different in the scores, but I felt you enjoyed it.
I did, yeah.
From what I gathered from your face, which normally sometimes you're quite poker faced and you're like, I'll be like, did you like it? Didn't like it? Don't have a clue. Mm-hmm. And you were laughing away more than, and you were smiling as well. You were like, oh, I wish I had a teacher like that at my school. you know, the English teacher and such.
Yeah.
So you were actually seeming to be interacted in the film. So go on. What are the scores? Is it a 10? The 10 things I hate about you?
No, definitely not 10.
Okay. I don't like it when you do that.
I don't really like it when you do it either. It's not...
I don't think I've scored lowly though, really. I've not done really that bad. Not when it's not deserved.
Right, okay. I think I'm just going to put it at a 7.
Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh.
Is that not what you were looking for?
I'm a bit disappointed in that one.
Right, well...
I at least thought an 8. I might have got an 8 off you.
I don't...
But you laughed.
I laughed, yeah, but I don't know as to... I can't think I'd immediately want to, like, rewatch it again anytime soon type of
I'm
thing,
literally
but...
sat here with my mouth wide open. I'm like...
But it's not to enjoy it, but I don't think it's quite worthy of an 8 or higher. Certainly not higher than an 8, even if... Sorry to disappoint you there, but...
And then ruin my scores as well.
But I think 7's like a solid...
7. I just think when you watch it on Strictly, a 7's like a mediocre. It's like a you're getting there, but you're not close enough. It's like a nice guy thing.
No, I did enjoy it for what it was. It wasn't anything. I don't think I'd really take anything away that's like, oh yeah, that's definitely worthy of a high score. There's no like deep seated nitty gritty thing that really rewatch other than to just like enjoy it for what it is.
You could have learned something from Heath Ledger when you were a bit younger. How to woo a girl. That's an educational piece in itself of how to treat a lady in this film.
Yeah, but...
It's got good morals.
You met me back in the day, I wouldn't even...
You wouldn't even talk to me. You didn't even talk to me when I met you initially. You wouldn't even look at me.
That's not as bad as it sounds, by the way. Like, I was like, just stony faced, but I'm a very shy person initially when meeting new people, so...
And it didn't help because I was very shy too at that point as well. So, match made in heaven. Both wouldn't talk. How did we even get anywhere? So I do think if you'd have been your teenage self, I don't know, you might have catched some little dating ideas.
I don't know if I'd have seen it when I was younger, I might have carried it with me as being something I really enjoyed, you know, like things I had seen when I was younger and still enjoy.
Yeah,
now,
I think that's my attachment.
I understand that, yeah. But I presume yours is 8 or 9 then.
I'd probably be saying a 9.
Okay.
Because it's got a good storyline.
Right.
It's got good morals. It gives you, if you were giving it, it's quite an educational piece for high school.
I don't know about it's really that, but
it's kind of telling you, there's like kind of going on to pregnancy and don't do that and be protected kind of thing. So you've got that involved. You've got also showing that actually following the rules, being popular isn't all it's cracked up to be. Actually be yourself and be you, and you'll get further in life than actually just trying to please everybody else and not yourself. So I think that's the moral I take out of it. Yeah. Which is massive when you're a teenage girl and you just want to look perfect and dress perfect and not be who you actually are. So I think for me, from my teenage point of view, I thoroughly enjoyed it and I still enjoyed it this time round. But more of an adult thing, so like, I don't know, because I was quite an innocent 16-year-old, I was. Mm-hmm. Some of the kind of adult things might have gone over my head. Yeah. Whereas actually now I could actually value it.
A bit more, yeah.
Because I've noticed in any Disney film, you do have these kind of...
I don't think it is really Disney. I know you're getting hung up on this, but I don't think it is a Disney.
I don't think it is Disney, but it's on Disney Plus, so obviously they're allowed to promote it for whatever reason. Yeah. But even in any Disney film, you have your childlike characters and kind of childlike things. But they do put these adult things in, which would literally just go over a child's head. But it makes the adults that are taking the children to it.
That's always a good thing to have in this, what they try and do in these the Pixar films nowadays, and animation films work the way to do those different levels so everybody can enjoy rather than just be silly nonsense that
only your little ones are going to enjoy.
Pretty cool, it's flash, and but, No, I did enjoy watching it. So thanks for sort of recommending it.
You didn't get a choice, did you, really?
No, when you saw it, we must watch this and watch it.
We must watch it. And Paul's like, it's not going anywhere. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
We have to watch it. So I would highly recommend that everybody now gets Disney Plus, and we're not being sponsored at all, and go and watch 10 things.
10
Things I Hate About You.
It's for something different, yeah.
Yeah. It does literally give you the diversity that you need. Because sometimes, obviously, you've got your Disney princesses, you've got all this, and animated, and it's obviously, you've got live characters, humans.
Yeah. No,
Just to clarify.
This is not your Hannah Montana or whatever, no.
No, but I also noticed there's Lizzie McGuire. So maybe Lizzie McGuire movie at some point. You might have to suffer.
Right.
So I can't remember it, but
Oh, right, okay.
I remember I loved it, though.
Right.
So it'd be interesting to see.
No, I know the TV show a little bit, but yeah. What the movie would be about, I don't know.
I remember bits about it, but it's been such a long time.
Right, okay.
So it'll be
longer than this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that.
Okay. We'll wrap it up there.
So I think we'll be back to normal next week, and Paul will be deciding on what I'll be watching. God help me.
So thank you for listening. Hope you enjoyed what I had to say.
Yeah, I hope you've enjoyed what he's had to say and how disappointing he's made me feel.
Just being honest.
Don't be.
So don't forget, we're on Podbean and also on iTunes, Spotify, wherever else you might get your podcasts from. You can search for us on Twitter and Instagram under SP Film Viewers. And
if you want to leave us a comment or a message, if you like anything we have said, if you want to tell Paul how ungenerous he was with the scoring.
Also, don't forget to leave reviews.
Yes, because they do make our day. They definitely do. And we truly appreciate that people are listening to us, so that means a lot. So thank you so much for listening.
And we'll speak to you next time.
Take care.
Yeah, bye for now.
Bye. See you later.
Bye.
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 Bye.